Hell of a game by Draymond tonight. Hell of a game by Draymond. Draymond was the player of the game. Draymond was the player of the game tonight. Andrew Wiggins will be seeing Wemby in his nightmare because he was like blocking and changing all of them shots. Steph had an amazing game tonight. What's going on, y'all?
What's up, man? A little closer than I would have liked, but a win is a win, so I feel good about that. And four-game win streak, you know?
The
Six
only
games
reason that
over,
game was
man.
close, that was close at the fourth, was because Wemby went absolutely crazy in that quarter.
Yeah,
He
what do you
scored
have? 18?
17? He has
No, he had
17 or
18.
18 points that quarter. Like,
He had
good
18
God.
points in the fourth.
Yeah, Wemby's a problem, man. He's a problem.
Yeah,
Wemby
he's
was,
gonna terrorize the league in like no time.
Bro, Wemby was blocking literally everything, bro. Like he
bro.
was
He had two
blocking and
blocks
changing
in
everything.
eight. He had three blocks in 2 minutes of play.
Bro, it was wild. Like,
Bro,
yo.
and then on
Like
top of
that's the
that,
reason why they were scared of going in the paint, because Wemby
and
was just there. It was like, come
Yeah.
try me, bro.
and on top of that, he's pulling up like he's Steph, hitting threes. It was crazy.
8 foot wingspan's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you know what? We ain't gonna nitpick today, guys. 4 wins in a row. The Rockets lost, and we won. We just need to win every single game that we could possibly win, man.
Yep.
I was proud. I was still proud of this effort, man. They were down in the first half, but I already knew once the third quarter came and Steph got in his bag. It was a wrap. And then Draymond was
When's the
amazing today.
when's the last time Draymond had over 20 points
Vintage
in a
day
game?
day game. Vintage day day game. Looked like 16 Draymond out there.
I haven't seen a game like that since you're right, Rose, 2016. That's the last time I seen him. There was a game back in when KD just joined and we were kind of like figuring it out and all of that, and it was against the Suns. I actually went to that game. And Draymond in the second half, like you could just see like he was just forceful in that particular game, right? And I was watching that, and that's what it reminded me of. It was an early game in 16, 17. And when we were about to lose that game, and Draymond just took over in the second half and was just absolutely forceful. So shout
He has
out to
six
him tonight,
steals
man. That was a
tonight.
hell of a game. Yeah.
Yo, it's crazy because it's like we was talking the other day about like getting rid of him and shit after his antics. But it's like today, games like today, it's like, bro, how the hell do you get rid of a glue piece like this?
But that's
Like,
why we're always so fucking irate
say
with him when he does the
unnecessary.
stupid shit.
I
Yeah.
know.
Hell of a
That's
Yeah,
why
the
game
we're
tonight,
so
frustration.
man.
hard on him, because we know
Mhm.
this is what he can do. We know the good stuff that he can bring, which is
Yeah.
why we're always so
Exactly.
mad at him for
And
all the stupid shit.
honestly, the stats might not show it like offensively, but he's been having a great year this year too, especially bounce back from last year. But
He was
Everybody,
amazing defensively this game too.
yeah,
I
bro. Like
made
everybody and their
timely.
mama. Everybody and their
yeah,
mama was afraid to go in there on Wemby, and Draymond was like, "Fuck it, I'm just
yeah,
gonna take it to your body." You know what I'm saying?
I think that's what hindered Wiggins' game right there with the Wemby situation.
Yeah.
hmm
Oh no, no, no. That's why we can shot like that
yeah.
because
I
you
wasn't gonna
know
put too much stock into
he
that. I
missed a
was like,
layup in like the third quarter, where I know the reason why he missed it is because he was spooked. You know what I'm saying? So that's what great shot blockers do, man. Like they have you think.
mhm.
So you know,
And I know people are gonna try to come at Wiggins, and be like, "Oh, he had a horrible game, whatever." But bro, Wemby's gonna do
Nah,
that to
nah, nah.
Wemby's gonna do that to people. So I'm not even gonna put too much stock into his game. And he's been playing great
yeah,
lately.
Yeah,
So
exactly. He's been playing great the last
yeah.
what 5, 6, 7
hmm
games.
He was
So you
bounced for an
can't.
off
Yeah,
game. That's
yeah.
fine.
You
That's
can't
fine.
kill him.
Yeah, and he
Hey,
got the win.
Space. Let me ask you. Even though aside from all the bullshit lineups tonight, how did you
yeah.
finally feel about seeing the starting lineup with Steph, Trace, Draymond, and Wiggins and Clay?
I love it. I love it. Now we're gonna decide who's gonna come off the bench when Kaminga comes back.
Yeah, if Kaminga comes back, you think we could go with the starting lineup today? I actually like the starting lineup today with
Yeah,
Wiggins
we
and
just got to
Clay
figure
starting.
out who's going to come off the bench from who's not going to come off the bench.
Bro,
So
I
we'll
think
see.
the only thing with that is that if it's Kaminga, is how is he gonna take it?
Bro,
But
let me
I
tell
think
you something, bro.
at this point, egos can't clash. Like
Hear
you
me
can't
out.
have an ego. Like you know what I'm
Kaminga,
saying?
Clay has come off the bench. Wiggins has come off the bench. Draymond's come
Mm-hmm.
off the bench. Everybody has come off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I say fall in line. Fall in line.
Mm,
Simple.
Do we play Dallas next or the Rockets next?
Yeah, we play
Dallas.
Dallas
We
at
play
home on
Dallas next.
Tuesday. On Tuesday at home.
So are you
Because
saying it's like a night to night basis then? It's like a matchup thing.
See that?
Yeah.
So that's
it
the
could be.
reason. That's the reason why I asked is because going into this Mavericks game, if Kaminga comes back, do you stick with the starting lineup or do you put Kaminga back in?
You stick with it, and that's kind of
I
like
think
the
so.
that's what
Mm-hmm.
Kerr's been doing too. Is like he's almost been doing it like until we lose, he'll switch it up a little bit. Like he's just kind of sticking out what's working.
If for matchup base for the Mavericks, we can put Wiggins on either Luca or Kyrie or Draymond on Luca. I wouldn't say Kyrie, but he could definitely play Luca for sure. So you can interchange those guys. So you can like have POAs for both those guys.
I just think that starting lineup that we had today is like from an offensive and defensive standpoint, it's probably our just strongest lineup, like balance wise, because Steph and Clay obviously are our two best offensive players, at shooting the ball. So you got the spacing, and then you put three defensive players around them, and you get everything with that starting lineup. Like I think it's our strongest. I think it should be our playoff starting lineup, honestly.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say the same.
Yeah. So it's funny because we went through all of these starting lineups and all of this shit,
Mm-hmm.
and the only difference is, I think, end of the day, it's gonna re- get back to the original four and then Trace.
Yeah, how
Ultimately,
about
I think
that?
that's what's gonna
Yeah.
happen. We did
Which
all of
is
that shit,
no,
bro.
but
We
look,
went through
but Earth,
55 starting lineups, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've been through a lot of starting lineups.
early on we caught this though because it's like, all right, Looney was the one, he was the odd man out, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's all. I felt like that's all you needed to switch out was that Looney piece,
Yeah.
and now they finally have.
Last
Bro, what was Draymond on, man? The man was 98% true shooting. For the love
Yeah,
of Jesus.
I think he wanted
yeah,
to make
not
up for that ejection situation.
shit.
He's been
His
playing
his
decent.
king was shooting great, so he had to shoot great.
And they was also
Yeah.
giving him free short roll.
He
Like,
played
wow.
mediocre last game as well. So in this first half,
Bro, he
was
hasn't
off.
had a game like this since 2019, the Cavs. I remember April.
Easily,
I remember I
easily.
went to that I went to that game.
I'm about to say, what about game 5 last year?
Imagine if they can keep this up, this type of production on the offense and defensive side, bro.
We
He's
don't need
really
him to
good.
though. That's the thing.
No,
Like
that's what I'm
I love
saying.
that night.
I'm saying I don't think he's gonna do that. But if he does, that's just an extra bonus to what we already
No,
have.
it's not even so much about the production as being aggressive. We can't have him
Mm-hmm.
just out there and turning away
Yeah,
shots,
yeah,
not
that's what I mean.
shooting.
That's
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean.
yeah,
And
I
yeah,
then
mean
yeah.
people ain't
aggression.
guarding him. That's
Mm-hmm.
just clogs up the space. Especially you're out there with Trace too as well. And no one's gonna respect Trace's perimeter shooting or anything like that. So as long as Draymond is aggressive, no matter what,
Yeah,
it helps us.
yeah,
So
that's really what I
But
meant.
at the
here's
end of the
It's
day,
Andrew.
this game was way closer than I needed it to be. But guess what,
yeah,
man? This
Yeah.
these guys weren't slouches either. They were on a 3 game winning streak their own self. You
Mm-hmm.
and
understand what
they
I'm saying?
beat
They
the
won
And
3 in a
Knicks
row.
after
in the
61
great
from
words,
Trust
Brunson.
me,
in the
they're
great words
completely
of
different.
SpongeBob SquarePants, a stove is a stove, right? A win is a win. We needed a win, and we got 4 in a row. Now here's the good news. The good news is we're gonna go home. We're gonna get tested now. We did all this for the past week, right? We played some tough teams like Orlando. Obviously, Miami was banged up a bit. Charlotte, San Antonio. We took care of the road trip. Went 4-1. We also played Minnesota. Tough loss. We're going to go home. We're going to play the Mavs. Then we're going to play the Rockets. Then we're going to play the Mavs again on the road. That'll be probably the most important test of up until this point, we're 74 games in. Next 3 games will get us to 77 games in with 5 games remaining. If we can take care of business, go 2-1 or 3-0, I feel like we've carried a lot of good momentum going into the last, week or so, we've kept building and building and building and building. So, I mean, obviously, these aren't going to be easy games. I'm not expecting to go 3-0, but hopefully we can go 2-1. You know what I'm saying? And if we can go 2-1 or better, I think that sets us up pretty well going into the play-in. Because look, the Rockets just lost tonight, so they're not. They're kind of less of a threat than they were 24 hours ago. If you look at the standings, right? Obviously the Lakers won, but I think there's a few other teams that are going to play tonight. I think the Jazz played the Kings. Right now, the Kings are up by 4.
The Kings are really wounded right now. They're really wounded.
And then also
Look,
I'm looking at they're broken down, but I'm also looking at these other teams like Phoenix. Obviously the Kings, like we mentioned, they might slip in the standings. So let's try to take care. And by the way, if we beat the Mavs twice, which I don't know if that'll happen or not, but that would bring them closer to where around we are, in terms of their standings as well. Now I don't think it's likely we pass them personally, but I do think we have the potential to pass Phoenix and the Kings and even the Lakers. If actually not the Lakers, I think the Lakers will be top 6. Personally, I think the Lakers and the Mavericks will be top 6. I think the Pelicans are going to drop. I think the Kings and Suns are going to drop. Pelicans are going to drop. Look at their schedule. They don't have Brandon Ingram, and their schedule looks pretty rough. They got versus Phoenix. They got at Phoenix,
They're in
at
the sixth
I'm
spot
Sacramento.
right
about to
now,
say,
right, Dre?
I think Bi coming back too.
Yeah, the Mavs literally have the same record as them, and the Mavs have been
They're
cooking
going to slip
lately.
though.
So
I think the
that's
Pels go to the play-in. I think the
You
Pels
think they
move
lose?
down a bit.
You think they lose
Really?
versus? I'm about to say, I don't think.
They're
who
going to
is
lose. They're going
They're
to
so
lose.
I don't think they'll
close.
lose
It's
who's
so
versus.
close,
escaping the
man.
play-in?
They're going to lose some of these games. Yeah, for sure. They're going to lose. Let me see. Let me read the schedule off
They got to
because
play the Suns next.
they play the Suns twice. They play the Kings on the
that's
road.
huge. That's
They
huge.
play the Magic, and then also they play the Lakers and they play us. You think the
Wow. So
Lake?
that is all of these teams are like right next to each other.
I'm just saying. Listen, is it likely that they stay top 5? Listen, I think they at best I see them 6, and then maybe they could be a playing team legitimately. Now I think it'll be between them and the Lakers for that 6th spot. Lakers might be 7 seed, Suns might be 8, or Warriors might be 8. I don't know, but we're starting to see the standings kind of form some more definition as the games kind of play on. And the Nuggets, they're the 2nd seed, by the way. Imagine a Nuggets Lakers first round matchup. That'd be kind of crazy.
That
But
would
I'm
be
looking forward to it, man. I'm
revenge
looking forward to
tour.
it. What do you guys think about, just the habits that we've built and the defensive identity? We gave up 113 tonight, which is actually, I think, the most we've given up on the road trip. Actually, well, technically we gave up 114 against the T-Wolves, but it's basically the same amount. So I still think that's pretty successful, though. The most you give up on a 5-game road trip is 114. Is not too bad. I mean, I think that's impressive. You know what I'm saying? Our
Dre,
road,
Right.
Dre,
our,
Dre, real
our
quick,
road
hold on.
defense, our road play has been pretty good this season overall in general,
I want to say this though, like, do y'all think it's because I think it's a good sign that like the Draymond 20 thing is like to me, if you've noticed over these last few games, it's a good sign to me that it's like anybody not named Steph or Clay is giving us 20. You know what I'm saying? Like it's been different players. Like Trace gave us 18 the other night. Draymond gave us 20 tonight. Wiggins has given us 20. So it's like that's what we were looking for. Remember early in the season, it's like nobody could give us a good scoring game, a decent scoring game, and it's like now it's like a different player every night, and I think that that's a good sign, honestly, because
the
you
fact that we
know
looked, I mean, I know obviously we played two teams that weren't really that great, but the fact, or did we play my Orlando without JK as well?
We
Did
did,
we?
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no JK.
So
Yes,
Orlando,
we play
we
or
played
He
Charlotte, so
hasn't
that's
played
three,
since
that's 3
Minnesota.
games, right?
Hmm.
We held up pretty well without, and not to discount JK's value, because tonight you saw actually we missed a lot of JK's transition value. Tonight you saw in transition on offense we just couldn't, we didn't really have much. But I did think that we found a way to kind of fill that void, that scoring void. But really, like I've been saying all year long, if we don't have a defensive identity, and we need two-way play. So tonight, Draymond was a two-way player. I thought Steph was good on both ends. I thought, Chris Paul was really good on both ends, right? Like we need individual players to play well on both ends, and that's what we're getting. Like sometimes this season, the issue was offense. Most of the time, it was defense. But right now, we're putting it together on both ends. And the key is turning stops into scores. If we can get a stop, and you see how Draymond pushed the ball, got layups, pushed the ball, got threes. That's what we got to do. And we broke them
Yeah.
down. We walked them down.
he was finishing over Wemby, dude. He was attacking him like when nobody else would.
I think I think
The
the
one
turning I think the turning point was the turnovers. I think the Spurs finished off with like 19 or 20 turnovers. Like
That's
you're
what I
not
was
going to
gonna
win the
talk
game like
about.
that.
The turnovers is like I feel like that's the one thing that's concerning about tonight is that they're a team that does not convert well off of turnovers, and we turned the ball over a lot, and they just blew them. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, like
they just didn't
The
score.
Spurs bailed us out so many times with the
Yeah,
turnovers.
yeah. And so any other team, if it's a better team, like a team that's better at converting off of turnovers, we have to be careful. But that's been the story of the Warriors. You know what I'm saying? Like turnovers is kind of limiting our turn. It's almost like we have a low turnover game, we win automatically. We have a high turnover game, it's dicey. So I don't know.
Yeah, you're usually never going to win with 20 plus turnovers. Not saying it's not possible, but yeah, the turnovers was the turning point. But an observation that I did notice though, with these situations with Kaminga being out, especially going into this Mavericks game, I'm not sure if y'all agree, but I think to avoid the four guard lineup situation, when you got Kevon Looney coming in at the five, hey, maybe putting Guy Santos at the four. Like you need somebody out there to just
100%.
prevent that four guard lineup. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but that's
No,
Well,
Gee
well,
is
here's the
Sarge's
problem.
role, but better.
Here's the problem. We're how many games are left in the season?
shit. I don't. Yeah, a little bit.
So like around 7 or 8 games left, right? I don't know. Like at this point, you gotta put your main horses on the table. Like you gotta get them ready for heavy minutes usage for when the big games come. You know what those are.
That's
So
true.
I don't think in Kerr's mind he's going to play like, oh, Guy Santos this, even though it would systematically be beneficial. He's just not going to do that because we know Steve Kerr at the back of his mind at this point. How many years have we been watching
Yeah.
him?
Yeah, and Gee got signed so late into the season that it's like he already missed some, like crucial time, like getting accustomed to everything. So I get that does make sense, honestly.
The only
That's
reason
true.
why we would even consider Guy is if like players are out. That's the only reason he would even be
Yeah,
getting
because that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
playing time.
Only in emergency situations like this where Kaminga's out, I just like I really don't like that four guard lineup. And as you can see how it played out tonight, that's why the Spurs had a big part in coming back. That four guard lineup is just not helpful for us at all.
Well, you want to tell you the most ironic thing? That four guard lineup actually got extended the lead
That's true.
in the third quarter. In the third quarter,
That's
they
true. I
actually
was shocked by
extended
that.
the
I was
lead.
shocked. I was shocked.
Yeah, man, but we ain't got no time to wing it, man. Like right now, we have two crazy tests. We have the Rockets, who's right there, and we have Dallas. We need to get that season series by winning the next two games against them. We have that makeup game, and then we have one at home. The only thing, man, I'm not too keen on the at home thing. I don't know if Steph just puts on for the team and gets everybody hotels and everybody sleeps in a hotel to pretend it's a road game. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do, but I do not trust them at home. I've
Well,
seen
here's
enough.
the only hiccup
I
too,
don't trust
Shadow. Here,
Kerr because Kerr allows more role players to play because they're more comfortable at home, and we're gonna start seeing some appearances. And then he starts doing 11 and 12-man rotations at home because he's comfy and he's in his bag. Like we gotta act like this shit's a road game. Like I say, what do they got over there? The fucking Marriott, the W, fucking
No, for real. Like
book
in all
15,
seriousness, yeah.
book 15 hotels and sleep in a different bed, bro. Because
In all
they are a
seriousness,
completely
yes.
different team on the road and at home. On the road, I knew we were gonna do this. At home, I'm shaky. I'm 50-50. I'm about them at home. Like I know we're gonna win the Dallas game in Dallas, but the Dallas game at
Yeah.
home, which is the next one, I'm shaky about. I don't know if they whip out their credit card and just book some hotels, bro. Like the shit's getting crazy, bro.
It is
Well,
crazy
well,
out
well,
there.
maybe with the lineup
considering the
though.
fact that you go back home and then you go back on the road yet again, anyways, which is honestly kind of stupid. But you might as well treat this as a road game essentially because you're gonna go back on the road soon, anyways. So you might as well just treat this next stop as another part of your own road trip, I guess.
Mm.
And don't even tell the players like, "Hey, yo, we're still on the road. The road trip
Yeah.
continues."
This is not the Warriors arena.
Bro, they're complete. There's more sense of urgency, and players just get up more, man. Like I even seen the games that we lost at home. And anytime we do something amazing, like look how the beginning of the year started. We had five We had 5-game win streak, and then we lost those 6 games at home. Damn near. I think we had
I'm gonna
like
be honest with
all.
you. This
Yo,
home road shit, it don't make no fucking sense. You know, it makes zero sense actually,
There's no
right?
answer
You
So
sound
to it.
like a broken record, though, because this is what we were saying last year.
yeah, bro.
It
I
It
know
literally
fucking.
is
I'm
a
like we're
broken
here
this
talking
shit
record.
about
don't
that,
make no
bro.
sense. But
It makes
bro,
no
pitch a
sense.
tent, sleep outside, go book a hotel. Everybody clear out of your house, sleep at home, cover the blinds. I don't know. I don't care what you got to do. Use a different gym. Use the YMCA for your practice facility. I don't know what you got to do, but that home shit, I ain't messing with it. Not right now. Like
Adjust your
I,
sleep
I, I hate
number
to
to
tell this
something
to you
uncomfortable.
guys, but we're
It's
at the
really
point. The only way we can guarantee ourselves into the play-in or possibly into sneaking in to get a 7th or 6th seed is if we win out. We literally have to win every single game. We can't even drop one game. I'm just to assure
Well,
your destinies in
Shadow.
your.
The problem for the Warriors is that aside from the Rockets, they don't have a lot of tiebreakers in their favor, and I'm pretty sure all
Yeah,
the
but
teams in
they're
front
gonna
of them
have
they
Dallas.
don't have.
They're gonna have Dallas, and they'll have the Lakers.
Okay, you can probably get the Lakers one, but I don't think if my math is correct, even if you beat Dallas
it's done.
twice,
Forget
that
the
ties
sixth
the
seed.
season series.
No,
That
we
ties the season series, but you still lose the tiebreaker.
Forget the sixth seed. They fucked up too much. Now they just got to hope for somewhere in the eighth seed at least, and
I
they
agree
maybe
with
they
you,
have a
Jim. That
pathway to get there.
they're looking for the eighth. I believe like the eighth seed is, even if we win out, that's what they should be
I don't think
aiming for.
mathematically. I just don't think it's really possible at this point.
I don't
So
either.
yeah,
Why not?
but
Well, the
Unless they
seventh or
go
why?
eighth
What
seed
there's
what,
is
what
5
like
what is
still
the
games.
Suns right
doable.
now? What is the Suns right now?
The Suns are the 7th seed. They're 4 games ahead of the Warriors as a 7th seed.
Yeah,
The
Suns
6th
Suns ain't
seed,
gonna
Well, look
win
at
the
their
very many
Warriors
schedule
games.
are
though.
5 games behind the Pelicans and the Mavericks at the 6th seed. So, I mean, unless you think that those teams are going to just completely lose out the rest of their games, like it's just not
No,
going to
we don't
happen.
necessarily need them to lose out because those 2 games, if we beat them, those 2 games, that's automatically we make up two games on them.
Okay, I mean, if you
And
want to
then
believe
and
that, the
then
Mavs
and
have
then anything
won.
can happen.
They've
This is
won
what I'm
11 of
saying.
their last 12 games. Let's be realistic here. That's a good team, and they're climbing up. So,
Well,
anyway,
Jim,
at the end of the day, man. At the end of the
The
day,
team you want to
man.
watch out for is the Kings. The Kings are falling off because of their
Yeah.
injuries right
Well,
now.
they're in the 8th seed now, and that's what I'm saying is that maybe the Warriors can catch up at least to the 8th seed, and then we can see from there. But I'm relieved that they got this win because
Yeah.
it ended up being harder than we were hoping for. I was hoping for a 20-point win, and I mean the Spurs
Jim,
were
give
on
me
a
a number.
3-game winning streak.
Jim, what do you think? How many games do you think the Mavericks need to win to secure that 6th spot? You think it's going to be 49 games?
If it's 49 games, they just need to win 4 more games, and that's it. So, yeah, I would say so. 49 victories would probably, that's probably secure for a 6 seed, no?
Yeah.
Because the Warriors have 40 wins right now. If they win out, they'll be at 48 wins. If they win
Yeah,
out the rest of their games, they're at 48.
we just fucked up
Yeah.
too many games. You're right.
Yeah. I was just about to say I'm looking at Dallas's record, but also the rest of the games they got. I think they're gonna get to 50.
Fuck all that, man. Fuck all that. What's important is that the Warriors are peaking at the right time and they're playing their best basketball. Everything else is whatever is out of their control is out of their control. What's in their
Yeah.
control is defense. Defense.
Yep.
First half was very disappointing. Wiggins tonight was he was spooked by Wemby's just length and whatever, and that just took him out
Earl
of it.
said the same
Took him
thing.
out of his rhythm, and he was just terrible tonight. But I was disappointed because, like y'all know, I've been looking forward to seeing this lineup, and he just didn't really show up. But the Warriors had other pieces that showed up. Moody was really good tonight once again. I mean, it's so different. Like when Kuminga comes back, I promise you, like they can't keep Moody in the rotation. Like they can't. Like Steve won't do that. So but he played an important role tonight. He pretty much closed the game out alongside GP2 because both Clay and Wiggins were just not good enough tonight. And the fact that they went defensive oriented, Moody, GP2, Draymond, Trace, bro, The Draymond Trace combination. Draymond was fucking amazing, incredible tonight. But the tandem, those two, it's so powerful because they help each other. When Trace gets beat, Draymond is there to help. When Draymond gets beat, Trace is there to help. And then they're picking up all kinds of guys outside of their switches. They're just so versatile. And with those guys closing and Steph Curry going Steph Curry centric, I mean, it was working out up until Wemby got going.
Yeah.
Steph ran a little bit out of gas towards the end there, missed a few shots. And I hated the way this game ended. Draymond is walking the ball down, and it's like 16 seconds. I'm screaming. I'm like, get the ball over the fucking half court line. What are you doing? He almost committed an 8-second violation. Just some goofy, non-attentive things tonight. The shot clock is running out. Moody's just standing there. Take the fucking shot, bro. Take the shot. The shot clock is running out. Just these little things that was driving me crazy, like the lack of just focus and attention to detail. But, at the end of the day, it's a 4-game winning streak. And the defense in that second half, the third quarter, was incredible. And that's, this is what I was looking for, is that, the tale of two halves. Second half comes around, Warriors show up defensively, and you're good to go. And even though Wemby and whatever, they made a run at the end, they had enough separation, right? There's a lot of margin for error because of the separation that they created with that defense. And this is how they're going to be able to win all these games moving forward, man.
You have to. I think the rest of the way to end the season, this has to be the starting lineup, regardless. No more bullshit, and the rotation has to be cut to 9 men max right now.
What's going on, y'all?
What's going on?
Hey,
that's going to be a problem with Kuminga coming back, because how are you going to play only 9 guys? Somebody's going to get left out.
Yeah,
sure.
Moody's probably going to get left out. I think that's what Jim
They
was
shouldn't
trying
be
to
Moody,
allude to.
bro. He provides too much energy.
I think Moody needs to cut into Pod's minutes, bro.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Yeah. Yep.
So, no, but
Hold on.
the point that
Lee,
I was making.
Lee, were you going to say, Lee? Go ahead.
Thank you, Eric. So what I appreciate is the fact that even though our home record isn't good, the fact that we're good on the road
You're
in
unmuted.
this particular position.
You can go ahead.
Can you hear me?
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the fact that our road record is this good this year in our position right now, I think that's good. I'm not concerned about the playoffs because we can win on the road. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, but also bear in mind that this new iteration, this new lineup, didn't really start until this road trip. We need to see that at home as well. And I think they're going to win. They're going to be able to win a majority of their remaining home games as long as they run these lineups and the closing lineups look like this.
And again, somebody pointed it out. Again, Moody and Paz, I think their minutes. I think they should both split minutes. I don't think Paz should get 20 plus, 22 plus minutes, because again, versus certain matchups, I posed this question 4 weeks ago,
Hold on.
Alexander, hold
on. You see the Pods thing, bro? I think he should be right in that, bro. He hustles, man. I'm telling you, he hustles.
He played 24 minutes.
That's him and Moody's best traits, though. I'm not gonna lie. It just depends on the
man.
matchup.
I'm telling you, he had 10 points tonight, 4 rebounds. We kind of need to lay off of him right now, because
I agree with you.
Anytime he's out there, he does positive things, man.
It's just the defense. For me personally, it's just I do like splitting their minutes because defensively, Moody is better than them, though. And he also hustles.
Yeah, there are some things that Moody is better at. There are some things that Pods is better at. Correct. When CP and Clay are on the floor at the same time, I'd rather see Moody next to them rather than Pods. And in order to do that, you have to split. You have to be able to split some minutes between Moody and Pods. If you don't do that, then it's just going to be Pods in the lineup.
He had 12 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. If
we know what he
somebody's
did.
doing that, bro, if somebody's doing that off of the bench, I don't want to come in and say, somebody else should play over him. That's excellent, bro. And he's hustling and he's rebounding and he's doing all of these amazing things on the court, right? Positive things, by the way. So it's tough to say that he should play less. I mean, I think
Space.
Do you want Moody to hold on? Do you want Moody to play?
Huh?
There you go.
Ultimately, do you want Moody to play or not?
Sure.
Is there a segment of the game where he has to play?
I mean, I guess, but I mean,
if you think so, bro. I know, but if you want Moody still to be able to play, that's the guy you divide the minutes with. There's nobody else that he can take the minutes from. Otherwise,
And
he's not going to be in the rotation. I think he needs to be in rotation. I
Yes,
guess that's the
yes.
thing.
So you think that he should be playing what, 12 minutes a game?
No,
Well,
like
hold,
Yeah,
14,
on.
yeah.
14.
I would say this. I would say this. If one of them, if either of them are struggling more than the other, right, then you can lean one way or the other. But so if there's a night where Potts is not, if he's not showing up, then Moody is an option, right? He can't be an option if he's not in rotation. And Steve doesn't. He doesn't just randomly bring in guys like typically. They're gonna pick those rotational spots before the game, and they're gonna come into it with it. You know what I mean? So that's the challenge of trying to
Well,
I
get
know,
the
but
guys
funny thing
playing
is,
what
time.
is it?
the
wait, wait,
funny thing is tonight,
Hold
though,
on, hold
is
on,
that
hold on
go
one
ahead.
second. It'll be whatever this starting five. Let's just say Kaminga. CP is obviously going to be playing. Pods,
GP2.
GP2, and Moody. I think everybody could
What
still
about
get their.
Looney?
Oh well, yeah. Well, I think Looney's more suited for like the offs, like the play, like when we get to the playoffs or a
Nah,
play-in game
nah, bro.
situation.
He has to play the remaining games. As long as Trace and Draymond are starting, somebody has to play that backup center minutes, and that's Looney. He has to be in the rotation. What are you gonna do? Play 4 or 5 guards off the bench? You
and
need
that's my
Looney out there.
point. And see, that's my point to Moses and Paz, because my point is this: if you remember that Phoenix game where Steph hit that game winner, Devin Booker was picking on Pods because Pods is too small. If we go into the playoffs, if we play the Denver Nuggets, who is Pods going to guard between Jamal Murray, KCP, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, and Nikola Jokic? You can't play 3-4 guard lineups versus Denver. So that's why I was saying Moody and Pods should split, because you can't put Pods out there because he's too small next to Steph.
Bro, Steve was closing the second quarter with the 4 guard lineup, and it was driving me insane. These
Yeah,
guys are these
See,
fucking
Jim,
what the fuck's his
let me tell
name?
you something. Jim, hold on. Let me tell you something, man.
Belly or whatever the fuck his name is getting easy
Oh, Mama
points in the paint.
Balotelli.
Like, bro, ain't no way. Go ahead.
But the most ironic thing about that was that 4 guard lineup he ran that shit in the third quarter too, but that actually extended the lead, if you can believe it or not. Because that lineup, it was actually Draymond, Pods, GP2, Moody, and Steph. And that
Yeah, you have
actually
to hold.
extended the lead
It
and
doesn't
blew the
matter.
game.
You're playing. It's fool's gold.
Bro,
You're holding
you
your
get
breath and
away. Hold
praying
on,
that
hold
that
on.
happens.
Yeah, wait a minute. You get away with something like that against the Spurs. You get lucky,
Yeah.
and
Just because
against
you
any
got
could.
away with something, it doesn't mean you're like, oh, but it worked. Come on,
But
use the
that's
whole entire
but
season
I'm
as a sample size.
you can't
no,
do
but
that
that's
versus
what
any
I'm
elite team.
hold on. That's what the coaching staff is gonna believe in. I told you this many times already. It's gonna be like weird positive reinforcement thinking. It's like weird conditioning for them. They're gonna think, oh, because this one instance worked, is maybe it's gonna work again. But hey, maybe
I do
tonight you did
not
get lucky.
look.
They
I
got
don't
lucky.
think. I think I hear your point, but maybe I'm giving too much benefit of the doubt to them, thinking that like they know what time it is. They don't have time for the bullshit to do that. They just don't.
Listen, man. They came
They
out
know
Well,
to.
that
whether it's
this four
Pods
guard
or
lineup doesn't
Moody,
work.
I trust them both. I pretty much trust them both. It is what it
I,
is. It's gonna be rough regardless, but right now we just have to close up the season strong. We're on a good trajectory. Let's close up. Let's try to move a couple spots up. Let's try to snatch that 8 seed if we can, and let's just do what we need to do. El Dante, I seen you had your hand up pretty long. You'd like to chime in?
Yeah. What's good? What's good, my family?
Yes, sir.
How y'all doing, man? Y'all doing good? It's always good to be back. I'm just glad to see my team doing good. I agree with Jim. I never want to see uh, a lineup where it's Pods, CP. Like, yo, like I like Pods a lot, but when we got like a bunch of guards or just like I do think it need to be a balance. I think Draymond and Trace need to always be on the floor together, and they need to be the starting because I think when you allow Draymond to be the four in Rome and be like, who's the nigga that plays with Cam Chancellor or a great safety? When he can play safety and affect things while having a big man behind him, pause that can really do his thing. That you know what I mean? Like that just it makes even Draymond even more, to fuck up shit more. I think Draymond played an incredible game tonight. He was everywhere. When he's locked in playing basketball, man, that nigga's very impactful, even when the stats don't even show it. Also, I just hope we do get, I think we should have been 5-0 if Steph would have got subbed in the Wolves game. But hey, fuck it, we ball 4-1. We'll take it. We move. I think we do need to try to get that 8th seed. And I like our chances against anybody because I think we work really well on the road. We're focused on the road. My fear is really more the home, the lack of focus home, just getting comfortable. I don't want us to get comfortable. I want us to keep that urgency up because and then also long story long. I'm about to wrap it up because I'm cooking. Draymond. I wish Draymond would have played the whole season. I wish Draymond was focused. I wish because I feel like our season would have been significantly different in terms of record and placement and where we at. So, with that being said, man, we just got to keep grinding, take care of business. We're gonna get into the playoffs, and hopefully we can get a 7 seed or something, man. Because or die. Hopefully we can have a good matchup so we can make a run.
We have four very crucial games out of the 8 games we have left. 4 of them are extremely crucial, and that's against the Rockets, the 2 against the Mavs, and then the 1 against the Lakers. Obviously, all of them are important to win. Like you were saying, Shadow, we really have to win out. But those 4 games, we cannot afford to drop more than one of those 4.
This is one of the best Draymond games we've seen. I feel like all around games. It's one of the best that
He
we've
looked like
seen
16,
in
Draymond. He looked like
years.
16.
I feel like years. I'm trying to look at the what in terms of him getting a double double, like 21 points, 20 plus points, and a double double along with that, like 6 steals. What the fuck? I'm looking all the way.
He was
Like,
everywhere.
Jim, when was the last time he did that, or something close to that? Does anybody remember?
I'm literally
The
looking at
Cavs.
the
He
numbers
played. He
now.
played the Cavs in 2019. I went. The game was in April, towards the end of the year, and he was.
I'm looking
He
all the way
killed.
back
Hey Jim.
to 1920 season. I still don't see a game where he's had a.
No,
Okay, the
look at.
last
I
time he
believe.
had.
I believe it was the exact same. It was April, maybe 4th or 5th against the Cavs, 2019. Because I went to the game, so I
Hey
remember.
Jim. When you said
I
Moody should be
know
in the
there's a
lineup
game.
next
There's a game
to,
last year
I
that he
agree.
did in the playoffs against the Kings.
Because
Kings game 5. Look at Draymond's stat line against the Kings in
And
game
then
5.
didn't he have a good game? He had a good game 5 versus Lakers too, didn't he?
I think so, yeah. But that Kings game 5, I think he had literally the same stat line. It was
Oh
like
yeah, I think he did. Yeah,
21,
you're probably
8.
right.
Jim, did you find it? Or let me see if I can find it.
Oh yeah, it was
Hey Jim,
2000.
when
It
The
you
was
last
said
time he put up
Moody instead of
stats like
Pod,
this
I
is
great,
agree
back in
100%.
Jesus Christ.
What did he
Should I
have in
talk
that
to you
game?
great.
later?
He
It was
dominated that game.
his game 5 was more impressive because he came off the bench too.
Yeah, he
He
came
came
off.
off the bench in game 5.
What was his stat line? Do you know?
It was like 21 points, 10 rebounds. This was back in the 1920 season where he had 20 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. Yeah, that's the last time he
Warriors
put up a double double with
Kings
20 points.
game 5. I wonder what that stat line was. So Warriors Kings game 5, he had 21, 7, 4, and I think how many steals did he have that game? I feel like he had like 4. Dude, I remember he had a huge steal against the bonus in that game, but that was the
Oh, you talking
last
about
time
last
that
season?
yeah, that was the last game that comes to memory. But yeah, like Dre has it in him when he wants to attack and be aggressive. In that game, by the way, he had 4 steals. 4 steals. So,
Yo,
yeah.
if we got that kind of production from Dre every night, we'd be like the Lakers with AD and LeBron.
Hey,
Imagine
man.
that.
And he did
Hey,
it at power forward,
what
right?
was Draymond's
He did it at power
what was
forward, bro.
Draymond's stat line when they went against the Phoenix Suns in 22? It was the Christmas game, I think, and we went down to Otto hit those two daggers and whatnot. What was Draymond? Because I feel like Draymond was playing out of his fucking body that game. What was his stat line on that game?
It was more so that game. It was more so GP2 and Otto rather than Draymond. I think. Don't get me wrong. I
Man,
think Draymond was
I'm telling
great
you, like
in that game.
before he got hurt that year, Draymond was he was on some shit, yo. He was going crazy on that. I was like, he gonna be defensive player of the year, and then obviously he got the back injury. But I vividly remember that game. Yeah, you're right. Otto, did well at the end, but GP2 and Draymond, like defensively and they were everywhere. They was causing havoc. I was like, hey, yo, they in they bag right now.
I'm watching one of these possessions, one of the in the inside the 3-minute mark. Branham, whatever the fuck, however you say his name, he's trying to drive past Trace and he just can't do it, so he kicks it back out, and then there's a switch. Trace is forced onto Wemby. and he's doing everything he can, and then he bites on a pump fake, and then Wemby starts driving, and then Draymond is there to help and strips him from behind. Like, this is fucking beautiful, man. This is the kind of defense you need. You need help upon help upon help. You got GP2 out there, you got Moody out there. It's just defense, defense, defense. And then Steph
Hey
is going
Jim.
up. I'll take this all day, man.
Hey
Can
Jim.
somebody tell Jim to get into contact with Curry's coaching staff? Because as far as the rotation, because what he said about the Looney being able to come off the bench right after the sub for Trace and like the playoffs, like the nigga got the rotations down. This nigga Jim know what he talking about when it comes to starting and rotations. Even though he be snapping on Curry, he know what he talking about as far as those matchups, you know, in length and athleticism and point of attack. He be preaching, man. I give him his credit on that, man. I like when I was hearing that. For sure.
Hey Jim, when it comes to the center position and the dynamic, would you say I haven't seen this kind of center production since Bogut?
I mean, and Trace has the capacity to be even better than Bogut offensively. Tonight he played like Bogut, 7 points and 7 rebounds and whatever. I didn't think he played enough. I was really upset that he was sat to close the second quarter. Like, why, Steve? Like, ridiculous, man. Even in the third quarter, you got the Warrior is shutting this team down. The only reason they even scored 6 points in the first 5 minutes of the third quarter is because there were some blunders. It missed a layup, gave up a layup on the other end, like stuff like this, right? And even then, it was a 17-6 run, right? 17-6 run. Trace was in the middle of that, yeah. So and then he benches both Wiggins and Trace at the same time. Like, why? What are you doing? Ride your defense. Shit is working. You're shutting down the other team. Don't shut that off. And again, like, okay, the guards came in and the momentum, they were able to keep the momentum. All right. But on most nights, that's going to break momentum. You don't want to do that, man. When your starters are riding hot, ride them. Ride them a little longer than you normally do. Stop being so robotic. I was watching the Lakers game early in that first quarter, right? And
Yeah, that was
all their
crazy.
starters
Yeah,
played at least 8 minutes. All their starters played the first 8 minutes because they held the Nets to 0 points in the first 6 minutes of the game. And when your team's on a roll like that, you don't make changes. You roll with that lineup. And Steve's got to get into a habit of recognizing, when something's working really well. And it's like, I don't know why, but he does this thing where like Wiggins was struggling. So, okay, take Wiggins out. Why are you taking Trace out with him? He always does this thing where somebody else is struggling and then he takes Trace out with him. What the Anyway, like it's just terrible fucking habits, man. But I'm glad that Steve is leaning more towards defense in these final games because that was their only path to winning these games and being more competitive. All these things, something I've been preaching about the whole season. Lean defense, and we're getting there, man. They're 14th on defense coming into tonight's game. Obviously, how it ended is the Spurs ended up playing like decent, so it's not going to move them much. But I'm hoping in the final 8 games they can move into like top 10, somewhere in that range defensively. I think they can move in. So if they can do that, then man, that's perfection right there. Couldn't have asked for anything better to close the season.
But since Draymond came back, we pretty much been top 10 in defense, right?
Yeah, we've been, I believe.
No, not in March. Not in March. March been a shit show.
Yeah. But overall, though, since he's been back, if you were to even
overall, I think we're 8 since January 15th. I believe we're 8th defense. No, 8th offense, 7th defense. I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But we're peaking at the right time, man. We just have to keep our fingers crossed with these home games. I believe we have 4 away games and a few home games left.
SB, that says a lot coming from you.
Ain't that wild, yo? We fear our home games more than our away games. Ain't that
Nah,
crazy?
man. I need them to sleep in the hotel, man. When they're in San Francisco, man. Sleep in the hotel, man. Pretend it's an away game, bro.
So
You got something?
I just have a Jim. I just have a quick question.
Sure, go ahead.
First off, appreciate y'all letting me in. It's been a while since I've seen y'all. Did you say? Did somebody say 48 wins? Are y'all
In
serious?
regards to what?
Like
they would have to win out to get to 48 wins. The Warriors.
Do you actually believe y'all are going to do that?
we're capable of that. Why
I
not?
think we're going to get to 46.
The Rockets
40.
just won 11
Okay,
games in a row. Why not?
You
okay.
stop me to
I think
question that.
I
Come on,
think
man.
46 is realistic. But if you get 46, because y'all said 17, if you get 46, you think you're going to be in contention for the top eight seeds? Like you don't think you're going to be a 9th or 10th seed with 46 wins?
I don't think nobody said. I think they just said that we can win out. Like
But I'm
I think
saying
we
you
can get to the
in order to
48.
get to the 7th seed, because y'all goal is to get to the 7th seed, right?
Whatever seed, whatever they can get to, all they can do is handle their own business, and we'll see where they end up.
Yeah.
So you're of the mindset it doesn't just get me to the dance. It doesn't matter, basically, and we
At
handle
this point,
business
yeah.
in the play. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I thought some of y'all were saying that. I thought saying that. Okay. So last question. I already know the answer to this. If
Don't ask it.
healthy, I'm assuming you think you could beat us. For this game.
Yes.
This game. What is it? It's 2 games. There's 2 games left. Not 3 games. We play the Cavs, then we play Minnesota, and then we play you after we finish this road stretch
Who's we? Like, what team are
of the
you?
He's
West.
a Laker.
You know what I'm
Laker.
saying?
He a
So
Oh,
LeBron
He's
fan. He a
Lakers.
LeBron
I'm
fan.
curious. I'm curious. Healthy.
Hey,
Never mind. He's
King.
not
Healthy.
a Lakers fan. He's a
I'm
LeBron fan.
curious. Healthy. Like, do you think that your role players will be able to actually like give you enough to win that, or do you like what's your
Bro,
thought process
I
about that?
think we could
Are you
beat.
talking about?
We've beaten the Lakers, what is it, 2 times already this year? Or no?
Yep.
Okay. Of course.
With
Yeah.
what was the context of that?
One
Hey,
game,
Oh, so
80,
Urkel,
80
now
missed
context
one
Urkel.
game.
matters.
80 missed.
Hey,
Hold up. So context matters, huh?
But I'm asking you. I
It's so
said I
funny.
prefaced that.
AD
Can I
It's
ask
missed
you
so
a
one
funny
question?
how
I
game,
y'all
bro.
prefaced my
love to
question.
apply
I
context
I
all of a
Hey,
sudden.
prefaced I
question.
Ain't that
prefaced my
interesting?
I
question.
got a genuine question, bro.
I prefaced my
Love
question
Can I
by
ask
applying
you a question?
saying fully
context.
I got a
healthy.
genuine question.
I
What is
hey,
the
prefaced my question
King.
I
by
context in
got a
saying
that?
fully
genuine question.
healthy.
Hey,
That's why
King.
I said fully
Let me ask you
healthy.
a question.
Hey,
That's why I
King.
asked.
What is the
Can I ask you a
context in
question real
that?
quick?
Hey,
I'm
Bro, it took
King.
a
saying,
double
Can I
fully
ask you
OT
a
when y'all
healthy.
question?
was
I got a
healthy,
great
bro. Like,
question.
let's be
Just
serious.
ask me.
Remember when y'all boys had, hey,
Hey,
King, they
listen,
ain't see
man.
you in
Let me,
spaces
let
in
me ask you a
years,
question.
man, after y'all boys went
Hey,
33
question,
and
man. All
49,
right,
boy.
can I ask you this question? No, real talk. So when you come into this space, man, and you ask them, even without like, even if you want to say, hey, everybody's gonna be playing and everybody's fighting to get into the playoffs and all things on deck and ain't no people missing anything. When you come to this space and you ask these questions, is it a thing where you just really feel like we got no chance, or it's not it's not a close matchup, or you just ask them just to get like a
He's not
reaction
on
out of people?
stage
Like, what is
anymore.
the
He's
he's
not
goal?
on
not on
stage
the stage
anymore.
anymore.
Hey, Urkel,
Okay.
do you remember the last time King actually joined in spaces was after the Lakers went 33 and 49? He was one of the dudes saying y'all boys is delusional.
Yeah.
Now he asks if we like chances. Really? What are we doing, man?
They're like a game up, and he's talking about, do you
Do
really
we?
think y'all can beat us?
Do we?
Oh.
He said it like that to
Dre,
wash him.
Dre, do you know that the Warriors are 21-10 in the last 31 games?
No, yeah, no, they are. Yeah, no, they've been playing good
Like,
basketball for
come
sure.
on, man. Like, what are
Yeah,
we doing here, man?
they've been playing very good
And we
basketball.
tricked off like 5 of those games. Like, completely tricked them off.
I
Like,
mean,
we
and we've
already
been
had the game
injured.
in the bag and won. Like,
We've also been banged up a bit. Like J.K. missed 3 games in a row.
yeah, huge.
Clay's
We've
been
been banged
out.
up
Like
huge. And during that time, Steph was away as well.
right, right. Yeah, I feel confident
Hey,
against
look,
anyone. Listen, I've seen enough this year
yeah.
to think. Look, are we the favorites? Probably not. But can we make a push if the thing like all like kind of things kind of come together at the right time? Absolutely, we can. We can definitely make a bit of a run. I just want to keep building. So I think Tuesday is going to be a big game for that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Dre, everybody on the panel, what do you guys think about Kerr um, with these minutes? Because you see how all these teams, their main guys, and even their rotational pieces are falling out due to injury. Like, he's really like thinning the needle when it comes to that. When you say it's kind of working, I mean, 21-10 in the last 31 games. I'm not the biggest fan of Kerr, but I gotta admit this strategy in terms of keeping the guys fresh, especially as old as
I
the
think
core
also some
is.
of it is Steph. Steph, you can tell when like this idea that Steph is like, oh, like does he know he's not being like aggressive? Like, yeah, he knows. Like,
You can see a difference between tonight and how he
he
played against the
absolutely knows.
Hornets.
Yeah. Like, Steph is very aware when he turns it up versus when he's passive and kind of lets others get going. So he's doing it intentionally. Like you gotta like look at it.
It's the
Part of it
lineup,
is
right?
Jim. In that third quarter, he literally took like every shot. Like he literally was aggressive. And in the first quarter, he wasn't. It had nothing to do with the lineup. It had to do with him. We also have to hold Steph to a standard of look, and some of it's not even a standard. Some of it's just game planning. Like if Steph goes hard in the first quarter, first half, like he might get burnt. You said he looked a little fatigued in the fourth, right? And there's a reason for that because, third quarter, fourth quarter, he was doing a lot on both ends. And, obviously guys were missing shots, so he had to be the one that took over. They were throwing in bodies at him, sending help. So my point is like Wiggins too, by the way. Wiggins missed shots tonight, but I can't complain much about him because he was aggressive. Like there's a difference between being and I think Steph knows when he's aggressive versus not. Steph is just trying to get through the first three quarters so he can close the deal in the fourth. And like the fact is, the past two games, he was passive in the first half, and then in the third quarter against Charlotte and the third quarter against the Spurs, I thought tonight he also just turned it like it's literally incumbent upon him. He was relocating, he was putting the ball on the floor, running pick and roll, isolating, stepping in transition. Like I just think he made a more conceited effort to, or concerted effort to be aggressive.
Yeah.
And he knows, like, we got to stop treating Steph like, oh, like, is he aware of, like, no, he knows when he's not aggressive, and he knows when he is aggressive. And it's on Steve and it's on Steph to get Steph going, right? But it's also on Steph. Like, if Steph wants to take over, he'll take over, right? Steve's
So
going to run his play calls. Like, but at the end of the day, if Steph wants the ball, he'll clap for it. If Steph wants the ball, he'll say, yo, pass the rock. I got it. Pick and roll ball screen. He'll call up the screen. He'll call up Wiggins. He'll call up Dre. He'll call up Trace. Whoever, or GP. Like Steph is fully capable of taking the game over when he needs to. And I think in the playoffs, he understands he doesn't want to have like a situation like the Kings where he has to drop 50 in a game 7, and then against the Lakers, they're sending help after help after help after help, and then Clay and Poole and other guys are just not as consistent. He wants a
mhm.
thing of like, okay, let's try to establish balance in the first three quarters. Let's have a defensive identity. And then in the fourth, I'll do my thing. I'll take, or even in the second half, third quarter, fourth quarter, whatever, like, I'll turn up. And that's what he's been doing the last, like, even against Miami, he kind of did the same thing.
So
Like, yeah.
So let me ask you guys this then. Looking ahead at the next four games we got. What do you guys think our record will be for those four games? Do you think we go 3-1 or 4-0? Me personally, I think we go 3-1 because it's Dallas, Houston, Dallas again, then Utah. What do you guys think?
4-0. We're going
You
4-0.
you think 4-0?
4-0. Yep.
Ooh, okay. Jim, what do you think?
Who the
I
hell said
mean,
2-2?
4-0.
No, why? How we going?
Dre,
Listen, we're not losing to
Dre,
Utah.
what do you think?
yeah, I'm
Dallas
about
is
to
the
say
only.
Dallas.
I
We can
think
What?
I
potentially
can
Like,
see
lose.
3-1.
Yeah.
I can see 3-1. I think
Yeah.
I feel good about the momentum we built. Um, Obviously there's still work to do, so we'll drop a game maybe, and we'll still be what 8-9 games over 500. And I think
Hmm.
3-1 would
If
be good. I mean, listen, we're playing some tough teams like Dallas
yeah,
twice and Houston. So, I mean, look, if we go 4-0, that'd be amazing.
that'd be
I'd be over
amazing.
the moon. But if 3-1 to me is a win as well.
Hmm.
Hey
Yeah.
Dre,
we sending belt
hey,
to
real
ass
quick,
on Houston, so we don't got to
real
worry about
quick.
that.
To y'all's point about Steph and just the aggression, or maybe playing off a ball, or maybe just not. He's just being intentional with picking and choosing when he wants to turn it up. Wouldn't you also say with Steph maybe not playing as well? Sometimes it's the way the defense is guarding him, right? Like they're sometimes the defense is making a concentrated effort to get him out of the game, like, or just kind of just shut him down and force our other players to you know um score instead of him. So maybe it's not. I agree that Steph does sometimes maybe get a little passive, but some when you say sometimes it's the defense, it's the way that they're guarding
Of
him.
course, it is sometimes the defense, but Steph can drive by a double team if he wants to. So, like you saw in the third quarter, for example, like when he had the ball in his hands, they sent two. He still pulled up for three on a pick and roll. Like there's times where Steph will just let the defense kind of take him away, and yeah, Wiggs, you do your thing, J.K. do your thing, Clay do your thing, Dre do your thing, that kind of thing. Or there's sometimes he'll just like, look, I'm just gonna beat my man. They're gonna send help, and I'm just gonna just move the ball and relocate and set it like. Yeah, like of course the defense has a part in it, but at the end of the day, if Steph wants to take over, do you think the Kings were sending bodies at him when he dropped 50? Rewatch his 50 points. They sent 3, 4 dudes at him at times. He didn't matter. He was taking that shot. So
That's true.
it depends on his mindset and mentality. If his mindset is there, uh, then he'll take over. If he wants to be passive, he'll be passive. It's really he'll dictate the flow of the game as in accordance with what he thinks is reasonable and needed for the team to win. And honestly, it's worked the last 4 games. Like he's been kind of shaky in the first half, not really taking a lot of shots. Like he's taking like 4 or 5 shots in the first half. Second half, next thing you know, dude's putting up like 15, 20, and that's like for like 25 points in the whole game. Like the dude takes over now in the second half, and he's letting JK, he's letting Clay, he's letting Chris Paul and all these other guys get theirs when they have to, in that first half. So he's pacing himself, and
Um,
because again, you don't want him to burn out. Like CP has
mhm.
been a little shaky too, even, but there's games where he's been putting up double-digit scoring as well, and Clay and Wiggins as well. So we have guys that are capable of producing for us offensively. The key is maintaining the defensive identity throughout the game, 48 minutes, and then Steph coming up big when we need him to. Whether a team makes a run or we're in a clutch time situation and we need
Great
him to
points.
to execute.
Great points. Dre, space there, space.
Yo, space.
Yeah, what's going on?
We want to transfer over for hour two.
Yeah, let's do that. So let's transition to playback.tv/Space Gang, and we can watch the Sacramento game as well. And we can talk some more about this and watch some post game interview stuff. So see y'all over there, playback.tv/Space Gang.